This is my presentation on psychopathology and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. The movie I've selected is What's Eating Gilbert Grape. It was released in 1993 based off the novel by Peter Hedges. According to its IMDb page, it is considered a drama. It is about a young man named Gilbert Grape who lives in a small town of Indora, Iowa. After his father's suicide, Gilbert has to care for his brother Arnie, who is experiencing autism, his morbidly obese mother, as well as the rest of his siblings. The situation is suddenly changed when love walks into his life. Arnie Grape is 17 to 18-year-old male. He appears to be experiencing autistic disorder. Arnie meets the DSM-5 criteria for autism. When he was born, the doctor said he would be lucky if he lived to age 10, and when he turned 10, the doctor said he could die at any time. He has a repetitive speech when it seems as if he's listening, but then turns around and does the same things over and over again. He engages in very dangerous behaviors, but is not aware of how dangerous his behaviors are. For example, he climbed up the water tower in the town and was dangling off the side of the ladder, laughing the entire time, not knowing how serious the situation was. He lives with his mother, brother, and 2 sisters, and is very close to his older brother, Gilbert, because he is his primary caregiver. Some ways that you could help someone with autism like Arnie's are a full medical and psychological evaluation. They would need to be put in a much more stable environment because Arnie currently lived with his mother and siblings, but his mother was unable to care for him. He needed to be with an individual that could take care of him full time and specialize to his needs. He needs someone to work with him on his communication skills. Having that daily practice would help him greatly with his language skills. He also needs behavioral treatment therapy so that he is able to understand how to act in certain situations. He could also use more support from his family. Everyone needed to be interactive in his treatment and giving a helping hand. According to the DSM-5, in order to be diagnosed with autism, a person must meet some of the following criteria: persistent deficits in social communication and social interaction across multiple contexts, restricted, repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities. Symptoms must be present in the early developmental period, but may not become fully manifested until social demands exceed limited capacities or may be masked by learned strategies later in life. Symptoms cause clinically sufficient impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of current functioning. These disturbances are not better explained by an intellectual disability or global developmental delay. Arnie exhibits, to our knowledge, most of these criteria, and the portrayal of this disorder, in my opinion, is relatively well done. I personally believe that this movie did a good job of showing a side of autism that is rarely shown in film and television. He had met all the criteria of an individual experiencing this disorder. This shows that the maker of this film were familiar with or are educated on autism. They would be able to see an accurate portrayal of this disorder. The types of autism that are usually shown in the media are children who are quiet, reserved, and do not talk to anyone. But Arnie was the complete opposite. He was loud, tried to speak to everyone, and was not afraid of most things. Arnie was shown as being verbal, social, and full of life and energy. Throughout the entire movie, no one talked about Arnie's disorder, nor did they label what he had been diagnosed with at birth. In my opinion, What's Eating Gilbert Grape was an accurate portrayal of an individual with autism. How could this portrayal of autism affect practitioners, clients, and the general public's belief about autism? The portrayal of Arnie was done in a way that presented him as a character and actually developed him into a complex person instead of a simple stereotype that he could have been. This film is considered to be a good representation of the difficulties of caring for somebody experiencing autism. I also believe that this film can make a positive impact on the viewer's belief about autism as it shows a more factual portrayal of the life of a person with this disorder. Socio-political responsibility. When making a film of this nature, the creators must use their power over the portrayal of somebody with a disability wisely so that they do not negatively shape the public opinion with their film. The creators of this film made an accurate depiction of a person with autism who has real feelings and problems just like any other character in the movie. This movie was far ahead of its time as far as how a person experiencing disability was portrayed. I think the movie's creators did an excellent job of exercising their socio-political responsibility. Thank you for listening to my presentation.